the stock pipe, you actually can ping it over. But we are going live beta, so quick predictions for map number 1.
I'm going to go with a 3-2 score in favor of NOOBPANZER. How about you?
I am going to go for a 4-1 in favor of the League of Shadows, so I'm going against you. Wow, who'd have thunk it?
There we go.
Anyway, we're on our way to our first mid now. I'm going to be following Deli to this first mid as he makes his way in. The pack is already sticky. Oh no, what's he going to do? He's going to retreat back to his team and get some kills. Looks like they are going to be pushing from one side. Soldier bomb's already coming in. One soldier going in nice and deep and high onto Vanny. One soldier goes high, one goes low. Can they land with the medic? The answer is absolutely unequivocally not, as Rons gets in and kills off Vanny. And it looks like they're going to be not able to do much else here, as we've got one player, which is Yeehor, the Premiership talent himself, does take down one. Can he find anything else to add?
There's no way.
Probably not, as he's facing down Flick and Deli, but he is surviving, Beta.
Yeah, but he is on sub 20 health, so there's just no way he's actually getting out of there. All right, a pretty fun mid overall. It looked very weird with the way Vanny kind of just got pushed into a corner with everyone diving him, and then Zoe just finally did pick him off there. But a much more aggressive mid coming out of League of Shadow for sure. And it kind of paid off for them to have that very aggressive stance. And, you know, you talked about it in the pregame. It's very often a good idea to just dictate the flow of this mid and just have those screaming eagles in the sky jump in. And this time around, it was definitely seemed like the soldiers jumping in first led to them having the momentum on this mid and kind of being the ones pushing the enemy team into the corner.
Yeah, indeed. It's kind of how it rolls down. Both teams going to be sitting nice and pretty with their mediguns. No one's decided to go anything crazy like Crits Crew. So, blue team did manage to hold on to this mid. They did end up overall winning it out with their demo and scout versus scout. So, they're going to be holding on to this one. We're going to see the first of probably many stalemates. Like I mentioned, it's Takeshi's Castle up in here. They're going to be going nice and deadly slow. Unable to really do much else here. Deli and Flick, they're going to be poking around in Garage with Zoe, and they're going to see if they can get a bomb in through bottom right. Looks like Slusher is actually on the way through. Skyrim with a high bomb goes in towards the scout and gets absolutely deleted.
Yeah, thick body shots. I actually thought of, this is probably the point that's the most like Takeshi's Castle, right? Because you can do speed jumps in there, and sometimes there's just a sticky, but other times you make it through. Well, actually a nice Uber was coming out there from Rons. Wow, gets it out and then slashes in as well. But Vanny, he has the Uber there right now, and I think he just wants to run out of there, but he might be losing time.
A nice little hold there from Vanny. Looks like he made the right decision though to retreat back into second. And Chris currently on the beam, the winner on the corner to take the super in. They do go for it, and Deli is just going to be able to jump away. They get on top of him fast enough here. Can they catch him in Garage? The answer is going to be yes. And that's going to be the pick that they absolutely needed to get in towards mid. Only 20% on June, and this is going to open up all kinds of avenues for them to get in. But Scar does trade out, and Nevo goes down as well. Zoe in behind. Picking up that frag is going to be absolutely crucial here.
Yeah, this is just a pain in the ass. He's about to just wrap around, get the soldier. Actually, never mind. Rocks to shoot him. No problem. Gets Slash as well. Well done by him. Point is slowly getting capped out. And it is actually a pretty decent Uber here for June, so they could keep going ahead. It would be very risky because they're 2 players down. The 2 players are going to spawn pretty soon. So this is a very weird situation where, like, you want to go as fast as possible, but you also want to wait for your players. And it's going to be a very difficult line to walk. And they've definitely decided not to dodge push here. And since Zoe's a sniper, they're probably also not going at all, even with the small Uber at. I'm kind of sad for that. I feel like they could have gone like really quickly in there.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's definitely sad for us as the viewers, but I think it is overall the right decision. Slash eats a bullet to the dome from Nevo, so they'll stifle any amount of aggression they can pull off here. But him going down is actually pretty big now, because now they're just left with Zoe on sniper. They are going to lose a spam class off this, so taking seconds will be much easier. But Nevo does manage to go down to the headshot from Zoe, but Chris picks up the counter frag. So looks like Zoe and Slusher on the respawn. They're going to be coming around the corner, going for a trade on Scar here, but unable to really get too far forwards onto this medic. Vanny just leaves Joe for dead. Ron's also going to get pushed into the corner here. He's going to jump away, and Vanny does keep him alive with the beam. But this is actually pretty good because they've managed to maintain their sentry gun on last. Actually, he swaps off. Okay, the caster curse has begun, Beta.
Yeah, I mean, if Blink just runs in now and there's no sentry gun, they're going to really be kicking themselves because it was a good point. And Vanny gets forced.
Well, very, very nice stuff. The Scar actually escaping back onto the high ground here, and Nevo unable to do anything here, having to actually stand on the point. Stickies are being laid by Deli, and looks like a push coming from the right-hand side now. Going to try and get on top of the pipe, and nope, they call it off so fast, Peter. They're going to be running with their tails between their legs, eating so much damage on the way out. This is looking terrible now for the blue side.
Yeah, I think they just realized that they had Uberat and they could actually get out, but at that point they had already committed a bit too far. It seems very sloppy. Like, I don't like that they switched off of the sentry gun there. It was really a big asset to that hold. And just because it wasn't there, there was nothing really to slow people down, and Vanny got forced super easily now. So June's going to have this Ubrad. Not really going to be in the greatest position to use, but it looks like they're just going to go through top area and maybe drop down onto the medic. Oh, actually, they're just going to Uber in right now. Gets onto the right side. Ia goes down. Demo Man in the skybox.
Oh my god, one arrow from Vanny. He actually air arrowed onto the demo to keep him alive from cratering. Very, very nice stuff there coming out from him. And also, getting this kill on the left-hand side onto Slash even is going to be pretty good, as Flick also dead. But the soldier on top getting down to Vanny. Can he find the kill? Does get the force. Scar finds it, and that's precisely what they need on this blue side to maintain a mid-hold of any kind.
Indeed, managed to just drop down, get the medic, well, not kill, but get the pop out, and just retreats way back this yard area. It's very long, you have to traverse it. That's why it can often feel like a 7-point map, and they don't want to do anything here. But this is not a big Uber advantage, like 30% on Granary second. That's not that much. You can basically jump in the demo super aggressively and hope to sticky out the medic, but I think it's very unlikely that Vanny's going to fall for that. But we'll see if they actually decide to do anything here with it. They're in, kind of.
Oh, Ron's actually ran really... Oh my god, he gets Deli! What a bomb from Ron's. Incredible stuff from him. And they have got Chris currently in behind. They do manage to pick up Zoe, but Chris actually trades out for it as well. So it's going to be a 2-for-2 right now as Vanny gets his Uber. But they have a demo advantage here on the side of NOOBPANZER. So they might actually want to do something here, and it looks like that will be the case. They're playing super aggressive on the shutter door, and if Slash peeks through Z, it could be curtains. Can he find it, though? That's the question.
Yeah, I would be really surprised if they actually push out. Okay, they're going to Uber out here, just get the Ubers out of the way, make sure the exchange. Obviously, Joe's going to have the longer Uber right now. They've caught in the soldier really heavily. Yeah, Scar gets just body blocked super hard, not able to get in. But it was a very weird situation where both teams' strength really lay in the area where they were already holding. So if you have a demo man, you want to hold inside, and if you don't have a demo man, you want to be outside. Ooh, nice pick there on Flick. A bit too aggressive. Oh, Vanny gets taken down by Zoe. This is all of a sudden looking really bad. Joe about to come down.
Zoe! Zoe! Oh my god, takes down Joe as well? Crazy stuff. Zoe really showing up in this game, Beta. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but that man is absolutely fragging out. What can you do when your medic and demo just get picked off from behind? The flank clearly needs to address some problems here with Zoe getting inside.
It was pretty fun to see. Joe was actually like getting shot at, and he was just ignoring it. He was like, no, I'm watching front. Like, you guys deal with it. So maybe they just need to show him a bit more respect. And he didn't even turn around for Zoe. And I know you become unhittable when you stop looking at scouts, but still, it seems pretty disrespectful.
Yeah, it does indeed. Actually, they're trying to take on to second here, but Ron's in with a deep bomb on towards Deli, and he does actually get it. Deli actually killing himself there just to pick off Ron's, which overall isn't going to be too great for them, but Vanny does still have this uber disadvantage, so they will try and make this push happen, but without a demo man, it's going to be a tall order. They're actually just walking it in directly into the sentry gun. The soldier actually getting battered by the gun. They do manage to pick it off here. They are going to stand in front of this demo man trying to capture this point, but the flashes do come out onto the point there just to keep the scouts alive. They get on top of the soldier. Ron's dropping onto the point. Can he use so much here? And they do get the Uber as Vanny goes super low. They've got the soldier still in the pipe. Scar actually receiving bows. Do they know he's still there? They have now spotted him, and a repush could happen, but it's just Scar that's in the midst of everyone, and he goes down right at the very end. A nice hold coming out, and Vanny with some great survivability.
Yeah, seconds away from that working out, but Vanny just barely getting the Uber in the nick of time. Pops that out. It's going to be pretty even Uber right now. Not really a very substantial list here. Sentry gun did delay it a little bit, and now the demo man's going to just lock everything down, and we're kind of back to a bit of a stalemate. But this is a pretty fun stalemate point, in my opinion, just because, like, you can't really move too far forward without getting potentially punished by it. So it tends to be this very compact hold for in this situation, the red team. But if you hold like that, then you're going to get really compacted and take a lot of spam, and it's very difficult to like stop people from jumping in onto you. So it's just a very uncomfortable hold, if you hold this far back. But if you hold farther forward, then well, all of a sudden you're liable to get picked. So usually this is fun, but actually they don't want to do any of that back and forth. They're just going to exchange Ubers immediately.
Yeah, that's how they're doing the typical send the soldier behind through top, and Scar just gets absolutely bodied. Ron's with a much longer Uber, but Zoe almost slipping in once again into the flank. Looks like they're holding it bad, but Yeehor going down here, Zoe also going down, Slash trading as well. And also Chris is out on the flank. Flick is running away, and it looks like this red team has managed to get the advantage in terms of picks and are barreling through Garage. And if they can cut them off here at the pass, it could be pretty huge, but it looks like they're not going to be fast enough. They're going to aim for the spam game on this mid. Couldn't they find Flick actually in the corner? Flick just fighting for his life. Then he gets the kill, goes on top of Vanny, can't get it. Vanny lands that arrow. It looks like the red team are going to claim this mid and have the aggressive advantage for the first time in this game.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive Uber. Like I'll give tip my hat to them for actually trying to do something, but it was just really well done there by NOOBPANZER to hold the back. Soldiers in, tries to go for the demo man now that he can't get to the medic. He gets denied pretty hard, and actually, yeah, they do manage to trade out pretty evenly there, so that's fine. They could go for a banner at this point. It would be a pretty fine strat. You have 4.5 minutes to build a banner. That's doable. So absolutely, you could do that. But right now, both teams seem to content to actually put on a ton of pressure and maybe see if they can get someone in there. Like, just the demo being that aggressive, lobbing in stickies is pretty unusual.
Yeah, I was going to say the demo was so deep actually. The Skying a bunch of damage here, does need to get arrowed up, and he'll be fine. But Ron's going in for a deep bomb towards Deli, just getting loads and loads of space. He goes in really high and they get flipped. Oh my god, that was incredible there, coming out from Joe actually, getting on top of Flip with the stickies. But it looks like now they're going to be moving forwards, Yehor, and it does go down in the midst of things, unable to really do too much. And now 2-player advantage to the blue team, and they're going to see if they can open things up here. Vanny already moving into a defensive position, so it looks like now they're in a bit of a tough spot on the red team, and will they be able to hold this mid?
Yeah, slashes in pretty quickly, does buy some play. Looks like Scar's much more healthy, maybe in a position to jump in, but quite unable to get there, so a pretty good hold there from NOOBPANZER. And I actually think it's pretty interesting. I can't remember ever seeing the demo man play that aggressively on the right side. And if I was League of Shadows, I would definitely think, oh, okay, we can actually get a demo, like someone in through the other side where the demo man is usually holding the double. All right.
Very interesting there. Zoe getting picked up by a long-range iron bomber. Not something you really see all that often, considering the explosion distance. But it looks like the blue team are going in on towards mid, and they're going to cap it out. I would just want to point out, by the way, in that hold in yard, that June had absolutely perfect positioning. Just sticking between both yards and being in the middle there means that if a high bomb comes from across the wall, they have that annoying little area that's just like, you can't really bomb into it with a high bomb because you just knock your head against the wall. So nice little position coming out from June.
Yeah, nice little subtle touch there by him. It's very difficult to know what to do in the heat of the moment, but absolutely crucial that you understand it. We're back to another stalemate, but these teams, they never stop. They're just in. Soldiers are just jumping around, but Flick again. It really seems like neither team has figured this one out. Demoman's getting caught in though. Deli is so deep, it gets taken down. Really nice job. This is going to open up so much stuff. Both scouts are in. Just the mosquitoes are buzzing. June is out, but with a single scout. But right now, I think the lesson is don't jump in ever because you're just going to lose mid.
Yeah, this is the play that they want to go with here. They are just going to be rushing in towards yard. They didn't go for the block on these spawners, so these spawners are actually going to be coming out this door here. And without stacking that point, they've allowed Deli to get in. But Vanny actually drops Nevo off this Uber, and now it's a massive disaster. And June still has Uber to play with. He's going to be heading through this left-hand side in towards mid, and they're just going to see how much room they can take here. Rons does go for a bomb in towards Slash, unable to really find too much. He's going to be jumping out now, and this mid is going to be retaken, and they still have full Uber to play with. They should not even wait to cap this out. They should be sending players now and going.
Yep, there's a sniper in the forward spawn. This is pretty standard, so I expect them to go through the left yard, but you never know. They could just decide to go in there, and they're being pretty slow about it. Like, they cap out mid before they even start moving into second, so this is definitely looking good. Currently, Vanny is in a position where he could get cut off. I think he just realized and he just barely manages to run back there, but the rest of the team doesn't seem to be quite as fast to move around. They have lost one. Vandy's on 90%. He could still get jumped if they're not careful. I think Scout wants to Uber, but they decide not to use it. That's very wise. But Deli goes down, though. Yeehaw does his very yeehaw thing where he just runs around on the flank and being annoying. And meanwhile, June is just being pressured heavily, and yeehaw, he's still on the prowl.
Oh, Flick gets disconnected from June, and they end up in a totally separate position there. So Very unfortunate. Flick going down on the point, a little bit disconnected. It does mean that they're going to actually lose out here on some potential aggression. But Zoe just running in on the flank here. Does pick up one frag, but it's going to be June and Zoe all alone as the force comes in from Bronze. He just goes in straight in from behind. But Zoe actually with the correct play, trying to run in towards second just to slow them down, and does manage to do that. But Vanny still has Uber to play with, and Nevo is currently on the beam. They're going to be going aggressive here in towards Garage just to see if they can pick off anyone. But I think they've gone too far now, and slashes in, gets on top of Joe, and Vanny actually eats a rocket here and goes low. Zoe, what can he do? And the answer is absolutely nothing. Gets munched by 2 scouts.
Maybe got a drop of sweat out of Vanny there, but that's all he really gets out of that. Pretty close by. Again, they have a pretty big Uber to add, but they don't quite have the people to push on. You obviously need the scout to cap out here, but you can't really send people forward without them. And slowly they might be able to get an advantage here, but again, this is probably the most annoying part about this Granary hold, where you can't push through the right yard where everyone is without actually popping super prematurely. And that would be an option here, but it is an annoying option. And once again, they kind of let a 50% ad slip through their fingers.
Yeah, they're going to be going for the same thing again. They keep trying to rinse and repeat this play where they bomb in Rons, and it just doesn't seem to be working. He goes into June with a lovely little surf there just to get all the way back, and he's going to go for a pack now. Just to remain nice and healthy. But one thing they aren't doing is pinging stickies from Garage onto that top roof to deny that scout so Rons can get in more cleaner. I think that's something that maybe they can look at doing in the future. But as they were saying, this blue team actually busted towards mid. Only 1 player advantage here, but they do manage to take it, and they might find more. They get Joe, and these 2 players on the low ground here are going to get spammed down. They're going to have to leave here. Chris getting caught in the choke as well, but the blue Uber does come out. Vanny also uses out his Uber to get away with Nevo as the bomb comes in. Can they find the medic? The answer is yes. Vanny goes down. That's a massive pick now for the blue team. They could convert this into a full round.
Really, really strong push coming out here from them. If they can just keep the momentum rolling, they could definitely get the first round here. We're almost 17 minutes into this, Lucky, and we still haven't had the first round go down.
Oh, Granary.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, capping glass and Granary doesn't usually seem to be that big of an issue. I'm going to go ahead and not blame the map for this one. I'm going to go ahead and blame the teams. Granary's innocent. Don't touch my team.
Don't touch my baby.
Yeah.
Leave my baby alone. He did nothing.
Yeah, how dare you. And June has another ad. It's not quite the ad that they wanted here, but it's definitely enough to push on. They have all their players. As long as Slash doesn't die stupidly before they go in, this should be all good. And you can just see, this demo man is ready, man. He's going to fly in.
Here they go as the Uber comes in. They do get Chris very early on. The gun goes down. All the things are there. Bird Scouts trying to play this point here. They're going to be running onto Joe. He's down to 1 health. He gets picked off. All these players are on the point going down, and they do manage to cap out the point. It's going to be the first round in the League of Shadows in this game.
Very clean push coming in there. Probably the first time we've seen any kind of Uber exchange play go in their favor of League of Shadows. It always seems like they're on the back foot, having to kind of desperately make up for an Uber ad that they lost out, but eventually they just really showed some toughness to them, and now they're ahead all of a sudden. They have another mid here. Both demos will manage to get up their demo pack this time.
Yeah, off the back of one aggressive push into yard and a 1-player advantage, they convert it into a full round here. Slash going in for a bomb and towards Joe. Can he land the rockets? Does land tons of damage. This time we're getting super weak, and they do manage to pick him off in the corner, but Deli also weak on the other side, and June has in fact gone down. In the meantime, now they need to keep Vanny alive, but they're getting players all around Vanny. Zoe goes in deep, but can't quite find it, but Scar currently in behind. Can he find the bomb? The answer is going to be no! He does land the splash, but doesn't get the kill.
Vanny gave him a little loop-de-loop, just running back and forth like a headless chicken. Worked out beautifully for him. He probably should have been dead there, but managed to hold on to it. He's going to be rewarded with a full fat Uber advantage here. No stickies should be around anywhere close by to where they want to cap out, so they can just go in there. That's actually a few stickies scattered around second point, but not very dangerous. This should be very easy to clear, and this could be another nice Uber ad push coming out here. They do need to have their players catch up, but they are slowly out doing so. They just need to buff, and then they're going to go in. Slash is on Sniper, but usually that doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're just going to use this left-hand side door and get onto this gun real fast. So we've seen this become meta time now. So it looks like Sentry Gun does go down eventually. It takes a long time to go down, and Ron's actually going down. Yeehawk going down as well. And now they should call off this push. As Nevo going down super low. Joe gets pinged down. He's in the dirt. Deli's going in for a bomb, though, really weirdly. As Chris just picks up that kill, which could actually cost them in the long run here. They did pick up June on the flank as well. So Chris and Vanny going to be escaping here, and they will have another shot at this last.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and hold forward here, but it's obviously pretty dangerous if everyone just commits there, but Yeah, very weird decision to jump into the heavy. Right, the heavy got 2 nice kills, and at that point, the heavy's probably just going to be too much. Even with no heals, he's just going to chew up everything that dares come close. And yeah, there was a soldier that dared come close, and he got taken down. So that's going to open the door, see if he can get a nice little snipe, but doesn't find anything worthwhile shooting at there. There's going to be another Ubrad push here. They get a round 2 here lucky. Let's see if they have better luck this time.
Yeah, looks like they're going for a right-hand side push. This may be the best push that they've gone for so far. Flick still up on the pipe, though. Going to be denying Ron's away and Chris away at the same time, but Flick down to half HP. As they do find June once again, the first casualty of this push. Now they're going to play the war of attrition here. A nice slow last push, just slowly scattering people down. And Flick on this pipe, unable to really get to the point here. He's going to go down. It's going to be 1-1 beta, a very, very clinical push.
Indeed. I'm kind of surprised that they left the heavy. It's very rare to see the heavy get ignored, and it doesn't matter. They made it work. It was kind of fun to see them go in through one door and then just all migrate to the other side of the point. And then they just slowly cleaned up players. Once they got the medic, really, it was kind of curtains as they just slowly got the point out. So 1-1. It was a long, arduous start, but looks like things are finally heating up here.
Yeah, indeed. Deli actually taking the high ground on this mid, and looks like a Joe going to have to retreat back into the low ground. Does get nice and healed up, though. But June getting on the high ground, as we are going to see a pause by the looks of things.
Yep. That's a pause, all right. And it's kind of mid fight. It's not even over. Like, the only casualty so far is Slesh. He jumped in to the ramp room. All right, so this was the request of League of Shadows. That's all we know so far, but you know, they're probably scheming. I'm guessing that's what League of Shadows do, right?
Tactical pause from Flick. Going to be holding this one down, but one I was going to talk about the second point hold that you mentioned before about holding super far back and it being like a double-edged sword. If you hold close, you're at risk of taking a trade and it going badly, but if you're too far back, you're at risk of getting run over. Now there is an in-between beta. That,
do tell.
I've seen get tried out. That's been pretty funny. You actually play with your medic on the balcony, and you hold your heals up there. So when they go for that trade, they first of all have to jump up to force the med, or they've got to shoot the demo. And then if you take the trade and the soldier tries to jump behind through top, your Uber is already up top.
So is the medic like standing inside the room, basically?
Yeah, up top. Yeah, on the balcony, inside of second. It's genius.
Yeah, that already seems weird to me. like okay, so you must be really aggressively holding the top door then, right? Because that way you can get spammed out. Yeah.
You stick a soldier inside of it, and you just have your demo sticky off the shutter, and then you're winning.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to get into the bunker to find a counter strat to that. Right. But hey, you said it, so I'm going to assume it's true, and now I'm going to try and see if I can make it untrue by coming up with counter strats. This type of stuff is fun. All right, but okay, let's talk about this mid fight for a bit. Like, obviously, we have Slesh going down for relatively little gain. Chris is sort of weak and not really that much in the fight, but that's the only thing Slesh got out of it. So that would suggest that probably NOOBPANZER is going to win this mid, but is there anything that might refute that claim, do you think?
Well, currently I'm seeing, there's two things that I'm looking at, and it's Deli and June being stuck on this crate on low health, with Zoe getting a sticky chucked at his face. And the other thing is Scar on the back line looking like he's going to get Vanny. So I think that it looks like June and Deli are trying to aggressive across this left-hand side, but okay, we're getting a resume coming out. As Zoe gets killed by that sticky that came out from Joe, June gets deleted, and Vanny does survive the bomb from Scar. So there you go. Played out nicely.
Yeah. Basically everything went correctly there for NOOBPANZER. They had that one pick and capitalized on it beautifully. No sweat whatsoever. Deli's going to put up a little sticky trap on last, but that's it. It's going to mean you have to pop through that door if you really want to, or unless you want to slow down and sticky clear it, but they have so much time to work with. We've seen a lot of like 50% ads only, but this is like a 90 to 80% ad. And this is the classic Granary thing, where you can just very quickly get a couple of rounds, and this is how you do it lucky.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be Ubering in through the shutter directly. Once again, they're going to do a repeat of what they did before. They get on top of the Sentry Gun, take it down. And now the special source, get on top of June and this heavy, and they do that straight away. June's in the corner, absolutely deleted. Scar going down as well here. It's just Slash left alive. The point is being played, and that is going to be the round going the way of NOOBPANZER, taking it 2-1 and now in the lead.
Very clean once again. They did an excellent job of actually getting in onto them. Usually the big thing with these pushes is that if you don't get in and do enough damage, then it can be a big problem. And yeah, it looks like it was just a tactical pause, if I had to guess, coming out here from League of Shadows. Scheming indeed. Gonna see if they can come up with something to maybe turn the tide of battle. They did go ahead 1-0, but oh, okay, this is not attack pause.
Yeah, so the pause is just before, they asked for it before the mid-fight even begun, and they continue rolling out. So now we've got a mid-fight on our hands, and Scar going in for a deep bomb. Kind of whiffs it, Nevo gets a nice lot of damage. Slush going in though, does get Joe on the high ground. Chris going down as well. Slush does eventually trade out here, so now we're in a situation where we've kind of dumbed the players down, and Scar is in towards Garage. Bomb comes in from Ron's really deep, getting forwards here. Nevo and Yeehor going to be running in. June surfs out nicely, and it looks like they are going to be able to clean up the rest of these players though, as Yeehor and Nevo just coming in and dealing the damage.
Yeah, really the Chariot coming in there to save it all at the end. Then hitting a nice little area as well to just expedite the kills and make it really quick and nice and fast. And this is basically, if you had a choice between 3 classes surviving the mid, this is what you would choose. The double scout for capping and the medic to just heal them and pump them forward and build Uber and all that good stuff. They're kind of taking a roundabout way of getting to the second point. I think they would just see if they can ambush people, but no one's there to ambush. Everyone's just holding back on last. League of Shadows settling in. And this is why you could actually argue that you shouldn't push. I think that's a bad argument at this point. Like, there's still 6.5 minutes remaining. You have a big Brad. I think you just push on that. But, like, we're beginning to enter an area where you could think about it at least.
Yeah, it looks like the gun just goes down instantaneously. It doesn't even hold. And it looks like now they're going to get all the way across. But the 2 players going down here after the Zuba. And they're getting all of the frags. Chris is the only one left alive. He's nearly going to go down to 4 HP. And he does manage to escape, though, gets the pack, and is going to retreat back through Z. And that push was absolutely thwarted, despite the gun being in the worst spot I've ever seen.
It made them overly confident. That must be the thing, right? They was like, got the sentry gun, let's dive in deep. And they just got chewed up. Everyone hit their shot. The heavy was there to just do a ton of damage. Medic didn't manage to get over there close enough in time. There's a sniper. Oh my god, Ron's just come.
Oh my god! Ron's just landing like a meteorite into the earth, taking down Deli and June, and also everyone else is dying, and Vanny's managed to survive the whole thing. Holy god.
I think Ron's killed the dinosaurs, to be honest. Like, that was just... That's a bomb and a half. Jesus Christ. Alright, and that's obviously going to leave Vanny with a big ad here. They have not the biggest one in the world, but so much space being made. The only survivor there was Flick, ran back. So he's going to try to build up a center gun, but it's still only level 1, so it's going to be pretty puny, but it is in a decent-ish position to actually knock people back if, like, the demo jumps in.
Yeah, I think it's just meant to do that, but the bomb comes in, it's only level 1, so it doesn't really do too much. It just slows them down a little bit. The headshot comes out to Ron's, which is the first good pick here. Really, really high into this heavy, though, and unable to really find that kill at all. Yeehor and Vanny trapped in the corner. They're both going to go down here, and it looks like it's going to be a very nice hold once again, but I am disagreeing with this jump in play from Joe. He's just getting super disconnected from Vanny, and they're unable to re-link up on this last push.
Yeah, he's just basically jumping a heavy with no medic on him or no Uber. It's just too deep, man. Like unless Ron does the exact same thing again and just deletes them all again. Yeah, no, they actually looked up there this time around. There's no way that's gonna work. There's a backhand coming out from Chris. He doesn't have the gun go. Oh, sorry, the pain train. So this could actually. It could have been better, but it's still very good. Like a scout trying to fight the soldier in here actually does win. Good job by Zoe there. But it pulled everyone back here, lucky. So there's a bit of a reset.
Yeah, Yeehor did manage to get in and get the force onto June with a very, very sneaky play on Garage. So it's going to even things up in terms of, well, I say even things up. It's going to give Vanny the advantage now with this Uber. And also they've got all this cap time in second. So if they can get this Uber and block mid, they might have a nice little push into second with the amount of cap time that they've got. So we'll see what they can do here. Nevo going to be heading in with Vanny on the beam, running in towards the point. They do not get the block here, but They are going to manage to pick up some players here. It looks like as Zoe gets cleaned up in Garage. Rons gets in nice and clean on the right-hand side. So they're going to continue this push on the right. 20% Ubrad only remaining. June has been building extremely well this whole time. They're just trying to hold for as long as they can, all going back towards the shutter. But June is actually caught in here. The stickies are laid up on the door, and Flick now has to take a desperation trade. The flashes are coming out from the red team, so they are going to have a worse off Uber. And Blue's Uber is slightly better. They're trying to get their players in. Deli is now back in. This blue team is doing quite well, but Flick beefs a bunch of shots, unfortunately, and can't kill the demo. Now Flick's going to go down. June's been surrounded, and he's going to go down here. But can they salvage this? Scar getting on top of Vanny, but whiffs all of his rockets and kills himself on the floor. And it's going to be a full wipe for the League of Shadows, unfortunately.
Yeah, at least Joe does go down at the very end of that. There's been a prime opportunity to go forward and actually stick it to spawn. That's not going to be the case right now. But Chris is just on the point immediately. Scout might be able to get that. Demoman might try, but no. Great bounce there from Chris. Just bounces them all away. No one could get there in time. Very opportunistic cap coming out here. And great spot there from Chris who was about to jump forward. I think a lot of people would have just capped that out, but he knew exactly when people were going to spawn, it looks like.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive stuff there on that. And it looks like now we're going to have another big fight here, Beta. Now, this is the tallest of tall orders in this already slow game for the League of Shadows. They've got 2 minutes remaining, and they need to find 2 rounds to bring it to a golden cap. Deli already on this mid is going to collect the pack, just man up against that stick. He had enough HP to tank that one, so going to be going in here. And also we've got Slash Bone in the high ground, Chris with the cleanup already. Joe actually going down though, first casualty on the red team, and Vanny going down shortly afterwards. And this is the spellings of a good start there. Looks like they did lose June. Flick also not even in the fight, and Deli is going to get 1v1 on the point here. And but it is kind of cleaning up here. The blue team, never mind. There's like single-digit HP on 2 players. Can he get the clean up? Nevo does find 1. He gets Flick. He gets Scar. He gets all 3.
They were so weak. That was like Chip Shot City. Just all of them slowly being chipped down. That was great. Like, as soon as both the medics died, like, this game was over, I'll say. Like, you need your medic to survive and do a quick Uber push into last. So this is just icing on the cake of a really nice map coming in here. And yeah, I would just like to see Blue. Did you see Joe?
Yes! Slash and Joe, like 2 ships in the night, sailing past each other. Just oh my god.
Oh, that was incredible. It's just full of friendlies now. This is where we're at this point in the game. Alright, we've got a scout in. Flake is deep, and somehow this is working. Come on, go ahead, take a round, make me look smart. There's a crit screen as well.
They're pulling out all the stops, but Vanny dies before he gets Uber. It's amazing, it's incredible. He died with 99% Uber. Very, very close there. Nevo is going to be the lone survivor. He's just going to be running around here. 40 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be GG Beta, and that is going to be wrapping up this first map. Unfortunately, but well played from NOOBPANZER. I mean, they were down 1 round and they come back and get 3 more rounds in a very, very slow game. It just, you know, NOOBPANZER pulling all the stops to get this win against League of Shadows in the first map.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to see how this translates into Sunshine, because I don't think you can really play the same way on Sunshine and get the same result. I feel like this feels like a very specific Granary type of result. Alright, Joe, he did it. He jumped in way too deep and actually got the medic. This time around.
He's done it. He's only got it done it, Peter. It only took him about 1 billion attempts, and eventually he got there in the end. But GG is the call from both teams. We're going to be moving on to Sunshine as the next map, but before we do that, let's just wrap up Granary real quick. So what were your general consensus for both teams? Who did what badly and who did what good?
Well, they were really bad at doing the suicide plays, right? Like, they sent in double soldiers, I don't know how many times, lost 2 soldiers and then lost mid, managed to hold on to second, repeat, and then they tried to bomb in 2 soldiers, the other team, and then they lost those 2, and it just went back and forth like that. It seemed very sloppy, I'll say, is how I perceive this whole match. I don't know if you have like a different take on that, but
I definitely agree with that consensus. I mean, they were definitely, like you said, they were just going for these kind of like single sack plays, but they could have done so much more to set up. I mean, they didn't do too much with the rest of the team while that was going on. They kind of like did one fakie with the soldier who ate like 1 scattergun shot at range, and then the rest of the team were just staring at the soldier that was bombing in. So it was a lot of fail fish kind of all over the place, it felt like.
Yeah. And also, it's kind of funny you mentioned that it was a slow map. Like, scoring-wise, it definitely was, but they were being very decisive in their playmaking, I feel like. You know, like, how many times did we not see them just uber in and take the fight immediately, and then try to jump soldiers behind and have that denied, and then like we had like a new little push going on. Like that kind of stuff happened all the time, and usually that means that it's a fast game, right? So the score does not quite reflect this overall speed of the game. I feel like there was actually more happening than you think. It wasn't like the big 7 set up, get buffs, rotate around, do this kind of spam stuff. Like we didn't see a whole lot of that. It was just immediately send in soldiers. I don't know if it's the clock, like just phantom menacing its way into making people just suicide in overall, because like, oh my god, we're running out of time, even though they have plenty of time.
Yeah,
like, that's a theory, but it's a bad one.
I mean, it's definitely a theory, and it is something that they were maybe thinking about in this game. I think it has forced teams to play a little bit faster, since you don't have like 10 whole minutes to play with. You kind of just got to crack on and get some plays out and min-max the amount of things you can get done in that amount of time period. But the other thing I was going to mention, that the thing that we were talking about with players sacking has been shown kind of in the logs. We've got Slash 16 to 21 and Ron's with 18 to 25. So both these soldiers just like with a significantly more deaths to kill ratio. Both of them are going to be roaming. So, I mean, it was... they were getting crushed, like here, there, and everywhere, but you can't really blame them. Granary notoriously slow and hard to sack on as well. So, and for the most part, when you're trying to do these sacks in second, they don't really work out. It usually ends up being a trade situation. So, that's going to be Granary. Goodbye. I hate you. Rest in peace.
All right. Are you more happy about Sunshine? Is that a map?
Absolutely.
All right. Why is that? Tell me.
I can't really explain it because I
explain yourself.
Explain myself. Okay, I think there's just a lot more skybox. I think you could do a lot more with. I say that Granary has plenty of skybox, but there's too many chokes, and it feels like it's a lot more slow in comparison to Granary, because you don't have the whole yard that you've got to run through. You just have all these 3 flanks or 2 flanks that you can play with. You got cafe, you got flowers, and you can kind of do what you want within those, and it gives you a lot more avenues to make plays. And I also think the last is also one of the more interesting last pushes out of the map pool that we have. And also the mid fight is I don't know, it's strange. It's definitely unique in the fact that all kinds of teams have come up with their own ways of playing it. There has been the meta game of just rotating around the point, but we saw last season we had Witness Gaming, who were probably the most successful team on Sunshine during that season. They just went straight up for bombs straight away on every mid fight.
Yeah, you have a lot of options, and I'll also note that this is one of those maps where it's the complete opposite mid of Granary almost, right? Like, if you're tired of not being able to see the soldiers coming, well, just go to Sunshine. You'll see them coming. You might not be able to stop them, but like you'll actually see them coming this time around. You're not just going to round a corner and see 2 soldiers stare death into your eyes. So that at least should be a good way to mix up things a little bit. The question is whether or not that's going to result in different outcome of the match, though. That's really the thing. I was kind of expecting probably Nevo and Yeehaw to be dominating compared to Flick and Zoe, but it hasn't been that pronounced. I think they've been slightly better, but not by a whole lot.
I think Flick is incredibly consistent, actually. Like, I think we saw him like beef once or twice, but that's because it's just a very, very long game. But for the most part, when he was taking the Ubers and they did have an Uber ad to play off, he was definitely using those Uber ads to get frags when he needed to. So I think the difference is that Zoe is like more of a flashy scout, but Flick is definitely a more controlled scout. And on the other side, you've got Nevo and Yeehaw. They're just both boomers, veterans of the scout class. And they've been doing it for ages. So they both got that consistency, but I think that Yeehaw definitely has still got that DM edge that we all knew him for.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He does interestingly have the lowest damage output. You kind of think he would be one of those big damage guys. I kind of want to see Yeehaw just take the beam one season, I feel like that would be an incredible sight. But right now he's kind of content to just run around on the flank and get a ton of kills, which I don't blame him for. It's probably a lot more fun for him, and he's very good at it. But one season, I want to see what just happens.
The Yeehaw beam. He will become an absolute meat grinder. Imagine he takes a fully Brad push into last straight on the beam and just absolutely rinses an entire team, because it would happen. His aim is so consistent.
Yeah.
Just so good. But one thing that I want to talk about in Sunshine is that I think a lot of classes, they all have like an equal stake in how the map is played. I think that there is merits to every single class in this map. And it's not like you can go where you go process, it's a scout map, or you go granary, it's a soldier map. With Sunshine, I think you get the best of like all worlds.
Right, like there definitely seems to be like specific areas of the map that very much favors some classes, right? But not excessively so. Obviously, like if you're a soldier, you want to fight inside in either the flank area, like the closed flank like in cafe, or you want to fight in lobby, that kind of stuff. Whereas if you're a scout, you want to fight outside on mid, or like outside on second. You know, you kind of have like slightly compartmentalized areas where some classes shines and others don't. But it's not to the heavy degree that's Granary might have, just like Demo Man destroy everything indoors. Like you have slightly more space to move around with here, I feel like.
Yeah, and you got some interesting bombs you can go with as well. I mean, there's some like nice fast mids you can do for soldiers. There's some nice like slow plays you can use your scouts for, and there's some really nice sticky spots I think on this map for demos to get nice sneaky sticky traps and get bombs and do this, that, and the other. I think that if Cadus was continuing to play, I think that Sunshine would slowly become one of his favorite maps. Because, you know, it would support that Kado style of Demo Man where he just yeets himself into every fight.
Yeah, I guess. It is also one of those maps where you are, in general, pretty far away from the enemy, right? Like, when you push into an area, you have to walk quite a distance to get to where the enemy team is probably holding. You know, at least compared to something like Gully was, and probably also even Granary in some situations, right? Like on that second hold inside the point. Yeah. You'll be pretty close to them when you actually Uber in. Whereas on Sunshine, you have to navigate your way around spam or rotate around before they realize, and then you can get in pretty deep. You kind of have to like navigate your way in a way that might require you to be a bit creative, or at least very quick on the draw whenever you want to go in there, because otherwise you're just going to get slowly spammed out and you're going to end up with a trash Uber.
Yeah, I think navigate is the correct word, because you need a goddamn atlas to plot your route across how large this bloody map is. So, yeah, do wholeheartedly agree with you on that one. But before we end up going live here, do you have any predictions for how you think this is going to go, considering how close the last map was?
Ooh, my guess is it's going to be, I'm going to go 3-2 again in favor of NOOBPANZER.
Ooh. That's good. I think we're gonna see. I think we'll see a 3-2, but also on the other side, haha, nailed you there. League of Shadows. I want to see them take this one because they'll make things nice and close in the numbers on the league tables, and I want to see some nicer tiebreakers, you know, between teams. Or
I agreed on that. I am cheering for League of Shadows on this map. That's for sure.
Yeah, we want to see how they do. Also, we have now read up. Everyone is going into the game. So welcome if you've only just joined us. This is NOOBPANZER vs League of Shadows Week 5 Premiership game for Season 42. We're heading into our second map of Sunshine. NOOBPANZER did pick up the first map, which was Granary. As we're heading in towards Sunshine mid, I'm going to be following Delhi in towards this mid, just to see what he can do here. He's going to arrive nice and early ahead of Joe here, and looks like we are going to see mirroring sides. Both teams taking the left-hand side over towards the Tetris area, and they're just going to continuously rotate around. They don't want to sit in this death corner on the left-hand side for too long, as they are going to continue to rotate around, but Ron's going low here, and they're just going to chase him around, but both teams have ended up on opposite sides of the mid. And will they rotate again? That's another question, Peter.
I think he's going to keep rotating around. This is great. All right, we have a soldier in. Breaking news. Actually, double soldier bomb in. It actually does a lot of damage. It's going to push everyone back. Currently, we have June being pushed back into the enemy team. Chris tried to get around to him, but he is taken down. That was on accident, right? That pipe. There's no way it wasn't, but eventually June actually got forced to pop there. Vanny has died. Flick is dead, or he killed him. But, oh, he needs to protect his medics so hard here. And he's actually doing a good job. Oh, he did it.
He does it. He gets a 4K on that mid-fight there, and June gets an Uber. By the way, June with 3 assists in that fight literally had the beam up Flick's butt the entire time. Like, it was just excellent building there from June and good positioning for both of them. But do eventually get this mid-fight, but it is going to be relatively even Ubers here, so we should see another stalemate.
Yeah. Fun fact, if you heal the scout, you run fast. It's great fun. All right, Slash went in, get completely owned here. It looks like the other soldier tried to jump in there as well, but... Oh my god, Rons gets That was the weirdest crater I've seen.
Yeah, just goes for the air shot, misses, hits the wall instead. It's fine, gets the crater instead, but there you go. Vanny now has an advantage. They're going to be heading in towards mid, and Chris on this point super low is going to receive an arrow. Delia, in fact, going down here, so this is going to continue on. This is going to be a bit of a domino effect, and could end up being a last push here. June only just getting a respawn, and Deli still on a 9-second respawn, as Slash getting a back spawn to last, and they are not going to be able to hold at this point here, Via.
Yeah, they definitely don't look like they want to even try. Yeah, Medic is so far back. Flick might just go down here. Yeah, yeehaw. Smells blood in the water, gets in for the kill. Takes him down. Still a big fat Uber at her. About to come in on the top right. Gonna pop through. Demo Man's deep, but not that deep. You can actually get saved by the Medic here. They're gonna take down June as well, just rotating over to that left side. But just slowly running out of steam in this push might be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. I have a fun fact here on why that happened, but it looks like the rest of the team are going to go down. It's because when the Uber faded, Vanny decided, you know what, I'm whipping out the Uber saw and tried to saw Deli to death rather than healing his team.
That'll do it.
That'll definitely do it. But yeah, that last position coming in from the top right, they just couldn't get across or transition over to left fast enough. They left too many players hanging. Their flank didn't manage to get in that cleanly, so it was kind of just a bit scuffed. And now they're in a situation where it's going to be relatively even again. Vanny manages to get a spawner around the same time as June, so they are going to have decently even Ubers, and now we're going to see a stalemate. But no snipers up just yet, so we're going to probably see some single sacks coming out from these red soldiers anytime soon.
I would agree with you, except for the fact that we've seen double soldier sacks so many times this game. It just seems like their MO. That's what they do. They send in 2 soldiers, and then they both die. That is just the way of this game. But currently, Chris, I think he's calling for heals. Yeah. He's getting a little buff now, so he might be the distraction, opening it up for the other guy. Actually, it's going to be Yeehaw running through behind. Alright, that's interesting. Now the second soldier comes in. That's Ron's. He's just going to run around. Chris gonna get destroyed by Scar. Ron's gonna jump in just to die in solidarity, but completely denied. It's only Yeehaw right now behind line, just at least pressuring them a bit.
Well, this was an absolutely unmitigated disaster, but they're holding super close here. It looks like they do actually have to use to get through, and Vanny's just running, and they cannot catch up with him. So they're not going to pop up the super on the red team. They're happy to drop Nevo for this one as well. Yeehaw still with 4 seconds left on this respawner. You might get your dream here, Beta, of Yeehaw being on the beam for a push.
Yeah, like Vanny has just been brutal this match. Like, he just lets people die so he can get his Uber ad. Devil gets popped into the sky. Devil just runs right to the medic. Slush gets the Uber force out. There's a Zoe scout behind lines as well, so this Uber has not been used for anything other than having people survive. That's good stuff, but it's not quite what they wanted. They got like 0 space. They got negative space out of that Uber because they got Benzo out of space. But eventually they will be able to get in onto mid here. The double kill is enough for everyone in the League of Shadows to actually respect it. They're going to hold back. They do have the Uber ad, but this, again, is one of those places where it's very difficult to get in onto the medic in time. There's a lot of space for you to cover in order to get in this space.
Yeah, it's like we acknowledged in the pre-game here that there is a lot of space to cover, and they're also going to have to fight through stickies and spam and all kinds of other things. Scar does manage to jump in, jumps all the way back to Cafe though. Celeste is going to get in on the flank here as well, so they do manage to get through. Ron's going down here, and also they're going to be able to jump forward with their Demo Man, and in the choke, Yeehaw gets caught, so it's going to be 2 picks here. They do lose Slash, but they lose Chris at the same time, so he trades out here. It's going to be a 3v5, and also Uber's now in play for Vanny, so they are going to be looking to try and... Nope, they're going to back out. I thought they were going to try and hold on to it, but very wisely, they're going to leave.
Yeah, Joe was just way too weak there. Like, you could see he wanted to go, but as soon as he went down to like 30 HP, Vanny was just like, no, we're not doing this. You don't want to take these fights where you have a really weak player after the Uber push comes out. Ron's actually going to go in here. I think he would maybe try to do a speed shot to get onto the medic, but he just ended up in the face of Joe instead. Tried to take him out, almost succeeded. It was a decent try, but he doesn't get anything out of it. Slash is on Spy, and he has indeed left spawn. Sometimes people will just check enemy classes using the disguise kit, but not this time around. Ron just jumped out onto second, taking up a lot of space right now. He sees all is clear. Question is, where's the Spy going? Oh.
There's a Slusher going down there, and also Zoe down to 7 HP. Does manage to go down as well, so it's going to be a two-player advantage here. But Scar trying to jump towards this choke, not really doing too much here. Going to be jumping away. Yeehor has managed to bust the flank because no one was watching it whatsoever. And the flank is just in for NOOBPANZER, so they're going to be able to take this completely for free. And Scar averting his gaze for more than 4 seconds. Yeehor capitalizes, and they manage to get the midpoint here. So even Uber's still in play, but Delhi being dead does mean that they're not going to take their pedal off the gas here, and they're going to be bombing in nice and deep towards June. No damage dealt whatsoever, and also I'm seeing a loose cannon.
Yeah, I thought those looked bigger and weirder and slower than normal. We've actually seen Joe use this weapon quite a bit. I feel like he's hit like 2 combined double docks in all of his time using them in Prem so far this season. So not the best track record, but it is the best sound in Tier 2, so let's hope he actually manages to hit some. Alright, Yeehaw just went like way deep. And Joe, gets juggled so hard. Yeah, no errors there to save him in time. The pipe's just not that dangerous either. And this is a great opportunity to send in players to get a force.
Nevo, he is on top of June's head. June getting down to half HP, but he holds that Uber. And also now Vanny is getting flanked, so now they're going to probably have to use the super to just get out of here. And they do actually use it out. Nevo's going to run in, but he's not. It's all for nothing. He's going to be running in towards the point now. Just tries to take 1-1 with Zoe. Decides less of it and actually backs off here. And the only pick they get is Slash. Scar and Slash being dead, though, is enough for this red team to want to run forwards here. But they are going to manage to link up with Delhi, and now an aggressive Uber is definitely on the cards for this blue team.
Yeah, they're in a position right now. It looks like they might want to rotate around. Definitely how they're postured. But it's actually a really good job there by Chris taking down Delhi. It's going to slow everyone down. They have finally popped there. I think they spotted Vanny. Vanny was pretty far forward, but he just grabs a scout. He is out of there. Now Joe going to jump forward. Lock down all the entrances that you can. Get a good sight line on. Everyone's moving in. This is just looking like NOOBPANZER is kind of outplaying League of Shadows right now. It seems like they just always end up ahead, and oh my god, again, just a double pick coming out. And Evo's in deep as well. Maybe a bit too deep. I don't think this push is gonna work out, but they have the ad to work with as well.
Oh, they're just going to use it directly. They just want to get on top of Scar here. He's on the low ground. You're going to be jumping away. They're just going to start playing the point. Delhi's unable to do too much here. Gets stuck in a corner, goes down. And Zoe is going to get out the spawn on the heavy with a 450 HP. Can they deal enough damage? The answer is no, they can't. They rip 3 apart. He gets Vanny as well. And they're all going to go down here. Bomb comes in from Chris way too late, and he goes down as well.
Was that a 4K on Zoe? Like this heavy, that's just unkillable, just mowing everything down. I saw him go down to like 20 HP, but very crucially not dying. And that is just something that happens sometimes with this heavy class. If you don't focus him down just fast enough, he will just completely turn the tide of an entire fight. That's what we saw here. Yeehaw with the nice pick there onto Flick. Gonna take him down. That's gonna mean this Uber's a lot less teeth, or at least it's not gonna be as fast. But let's see if Daly disagrees with that. He's gonna jump in very aggressively, not able to find anything, and now players have just run behind lines.
Yeah, Chris and Ron's got stuck in behind. They both went for bombs, and Ron's just going to get caught on this point. He's going to get pincered by so many players and go down. But this has opened up mid a little bit now, and it's brought them a lot of time and space on this red team to build up the rest of their Uber. But Scar getting in, eats a pipe immediately on the high ground. Delhi also going to be joining him on that high ground, and they are going to manage to eventually push this red team out of mid. But Vanny now getting his Uber, and June only with 40%, but there's so much space to cover that if they get an aggressive Uber off, it's not going to find too much here. They're just going to be bombing in. They block the point with it, and let's see what else they can find. It looks like it's just going to be Slash who tries to get him behind, and nothing else, Peter.
Yeah, Yeehaw actually switched off of Sniper. That's pretty interesting. I think someone just opened the door for him there, and he ran back in. They got a forward spawn, maybe? I didn't see. I feel like someone went spy before, and I didn't see them switch off, and now Yeehaw switch off with Sniper. So people have been pretty good at just switching off once it's not working. Ron's going to jump in with a very aggressive push. I think he takes down Delhi. Just hits 3 nice rockets onto him. That's a pretty decent trade. But Chris goes down to spam. Okay. This is all of a sudden not looking quite as hot here as Joe's just desperately trying to spam people off the point. They want to delay this as much as possible, but it's going to be a very tall order here for him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it in. And Scar is just trying to get this flank going, but unable to do too much. Spots Nevo there. Is going to make the quick, instant decision just to retreat all the way back through Flowers. So now Ron's is going to be making his way towards Choke on the beam, and they're going to see what they can do here. If he can get a sack off, Ron's bombing in, does bump into a soldier, goes for a rebomb. It looks like he's going to be trying to escape this one. Nearly gets the counter frag onto Scar, but does manage to slip away from this one rather than fully committing. But Ron's recommits in very strangely into Cafe and just feeds his life away after that one.
Yeah, not sure what he was trying to achieve with that one. Like once he kind of killed the soldier, that doesn't matter. Right, Scar gonna be the decoy. Slash gonna jump in there. At least trades with the demo man. It's actually a pretty decent pick. That's gonna allow everyone else to jump in here. But Chris on the flank gets the Scar.
Sorry, Deli was so deep he could have summoned the goddamn Balrog in that fight. Jesus.
He's being spammed out really heavily on the point right now. Yeah, actually just goes down to like combined spam across the point. He does get 2 kills here and starts capping out the point, but I don't think they're actually going to be able to get this June pick. Yeah, June's going to just survive this with a full Uber. She's looking pretty good. Nevo's actually behind lines again. This is a slightly annoying for them. It means that there's just going to be a flick Uber, like solo Uber running forward right now if they want to go in. And quite wisely, I think they decided not to do that. They want to deal with Nevo first. They have 2 spawners coming up right now that could really help. Yeah, okay, so just gonna hit the lead shot. No biggie there.
Yeah, absolutely not. Zoe smells a rat in sewer and just takes him down straight away. So they are going to have a massive Uber to play with here, Beat, and moving in towards second. They're going to start taking from Cafe by the looks of things as the mid capture goes through. Flick's going to be leading the way through, just trying to spy out any stickies that there are. And Ron's going to be bombing in behind on towards June. Good damage from down, but June with amazing surf. But Chris is there to capitalise and does manage to get the force onto June. A nice little pop there just to save his own life. And Yehor is going to be retreating back through lobby and collect some HP on the way through. 91% now for Vanny, so he's going to have his Uber available. But how did they make this push out happen? They're going to wait for Ron's. And also they've got Chris currently still stuck behind lines. He's going to go down eventually here. And this is going to make this push out very difficult.
Yeah, he does manage to get Flick there. Not sure he was aiming for him. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he was definitely aiming for him there. Saving that whole exchange pretty well. And they want to push really badly. They've covered all their bases. And everyone's just out. June wants no business here at all. Actually, they have popped out. I didn't see how that happened. I assume Slesh got the force out there. Because
yeah, he did. He went in for a high bomb from Flowers, and he did manage to get the force into Vanny. Vanny very wisely, though, just looks up, sees the sinking rockets, and just pops just to save his own life. So very, very nice stuff coming out from Vanny. And like you mentioned, June with this Ubrad did manage to get in a great position just to survive that entire engagement. It is now moving up through Flowers. Now the spam is coming down from Joe, and the bomb comes in from Ron's very deep, and they do get the force, and killing off Scar in the process as well. And also Chris once again in behind Zoe with a very easy cleanup. Once again, Zoe's been very, very vigilant on this flank, but it looks like they want to bust here. Deli gets rinsed by Yehor. Zoe gets piped and murdered, and now June is going to get 1v1 by Yehor as Yehor does go down to Flick. June only on 32 health. It's going to be running away from Flick. But they do manage to hold on to second here as this red team.
Very important win, actually, in that situation. They're going to be able to use this Uber to push in onto mid. They just need to get everyone back here into the land of the living, and then they will be able to push in right now. But there's going to be a lot of spam coming their way. We see Slushes up on this roof. You know, you can bet your ass he's going to be jumping down off of see if he can get the force out. Finds the soldier, actually, wants to take it down. That was a weird play. It looked very weird at least. Slushes in. Oh, gets the force out. That's actually a really nice play by him.
Yeah, it's a really, really big play as well, because June is now going to have an Uber advantage to play with, which could spell the first goddamn round of this game, Peter. We're seeing a repeat of what happened on Granary, where it takes 15 goddamn minutes for us to get around.
They just need to warm up, okay? Like, they just need to get their engines going. It takes a while for some people before they can really get going, you know? All right. They have a very aggressive Uber coming out here, not quite able to catch up. Benny does kind of get rushed now, but it's just not quite. Oh, Ron's. Maybe don't rush into the Hornet's Nest there. Just gets denied super heavily. That could open up a... Oh, Scott just got donked so hard. Oh my god.
He got thrust into the ground. Looks like the bomb's coming in though. Zoe just gets absolutely rinsed as well. Scar and Slash unable to do anything at all. And Vanny survives the entire engagement, so he's going to be running in here. Unfortunately, that Uber was a little bit lackluster on second. They Ubered a little bit too preemptively. They could have had a last push out of it, but decided that they were just going to use on second instead, just to try and maintain that momentum in towards last, but also Bomb coming in towards Choke here. Slash on top of Vanny. They do get the force. Ron's getting body shot down by Zoe as well. It's going to buy them quite a lot here with the force
Slash
combined.
is still alive. He was like so healthy after he did that bomb. He got out, so he's now just behind lines. This is super annoying. He could help cut everyone off. He's actually on the point. Does a lot of damage. If everyone can just get in here and clean up, it could actually be good. Yeah, they get Chris. That's very nice. Not going to be able to get anyone else so far, but they have this big new Brad to work with. So this is great for them. Scar's in looking for sentry guns, I think. It doesn't find any, which means that this push is just about to roll everyone down.
Yeah, Yeehaw here up on the heavy. They do actually pop on the Uber now, but they do find Chris is the only casualty so far. They're going to be playing this point here. They're all going to run out onto it. Can they find it? There's so much cap time. They're desperately trying to stab them. It looks like eventually they're going to cap it out as they fling the players into the air. It's going to be the very first round. 12 minutes left on the clock, and we get our first round beater.
It took a long time, but we're finally here, Lucky. This is basically exactly the same thing that happened in the first map. You know, I told you it wasn't Granary's fault. Alright, I defended my boy, and I was correct. Alright, let's see if there's any fast rollouts. Looks like the answer is no. No. Slush is...
Sort of.
Yeah, rushes down the bell tower. Not sure what that did to him, but actually it's going to be Ron that jumps in and just gets June immediately with a nice little...
Sorry, Vanny in the death corner gets deleted by 3 players by standing in a hole in the ground. And Scar also going to be bombing off the high ground. They're just having a DM server right now. It's going to be Flick and Scar versus the world. Can Flick clean up 3? He could potentially do it.
Oh.
He has the health to it. No, he doesn't. Never mind. He's dead. June respawns alone, and this mid capture is going to go the way of the red team.
Yeah, he was 2 good shots away from winning that mid fight, so unlucky to him. Both medics dying there. This would be a good time to go for crit streak. Neither of them do. So just good old standard stuff. NOOBPANZER, they have the opportunity now. They have mid. They're in a good attacking position right now, and they are a round down. So they're probably going to try to look to send in some players and maybe do something. Like we've definitely seen a lot of double sorted bombs. We've also seen them sneak in Yeehaw behind. So that might be what they're trying to do again. He's not quite in a position to do that. Deli goes down very weak. Ron's, I think he just hates Demo Man. He always seems to go for them in these suicide waves.
Yeah, he didn't quite see the medic when he was bombing through, so he just ends up going for the demo instead, which I guess is the right decision to make at that point in time, but unable to get the kill there. I mean, it could have been pretty good and could have generated a push, but what I will mention is that NOOBPANZER, in comparison to what they were doing on Granary, they are actually using their whole team to get these sacks off now. They moved their entire team up in Flower, and then they got the soldier in. They distracted from Cafe as well. They distracted from Trunk. They're doing all the things right. It was just unfortunate they couldn't execute in the end.
Yeah, just again, obviously part of this is Jude's excellent positioning, trying to get in. All right, okay. Poor Ron, poor Chris. You just gave them credit for using the entire team, and then Chris just jumped in alone.
It's the caster curse, man. It's the strongest in the game. Vanny getting bombed. Oh, he gets forced.
Great speed shot in there, but they lost so many players in the process. Like, Jude is just desperately trying to get out without using this Uber charge. Looks like he might be successful. He's just Demo and Medic alive right now. Deli is going to have to hold the fort down, but that's going to be very difficult. If you just put some time onto the point, yeah, this pop is going to be all but guaranteed. And it's only respawners coming in. They're going to need some buffs here, but yeah, this is a very aggressive push in.
Yeah, they're just going for it here. They're just going for the straight DM fight, and actually they're actually kind of winning this. They're getting so much counter down. June going down, Slash and Flick, the last one's alive. They're both going down to super low health. Flick can't save it, and we're going to a 1-1 scenario with 9 minutes 30 left. Both teams have now got their jets running beater. Hopefully we're going to see some more rounds.
Yeah, I love the ominous text that shows up every time someone caps. It's like, I don't know if you're getting it on your screen.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, that just looks like you're being hacked. Very scary looking text. 1-to-1 though. This is just a complete mirror image of what we saw before.
Yeah, indeed. Next mid fight is going to kick off here. Joe's going to be rotating to the right hand side. Looks like Danny's going to be rotating as well. And both teams going to be heading around the corner here. Both medics crossing the death corner. June eats a lot of damage coming through there. Vanny relatively unscathed. as they are going to try and capitalize on whatever damage has been dealt with. Scar, Ronz, and Chris all going down here, so just soldiers dying. Classic soldier gameplay, as Slash is the last soldier left standing. Looks like he's going to get rinsed as well, getting shot at by every single red player that currently exists. Zoe going low as well. And now we've seen this rotate all the way around with one player disad for the red team, and they're in kind of a bad position with these respawners about to come in for this blue team that they could get pincered by at any moment, with Scar making this rollout happen. Both teams playing super slow. Scar currently in behind Vanny, and he's just going to spot all of the damage, gets the force off. June also having to use out the supercharge. Now we've got the respawners of the red team doing the exact same thing on the other side as Slash goes down, Ron trades out. June and Deli, the last one surviving here. June's going to get his head cut off. Never mind, June gets a head kill himself, but they do get the full wipe.
Yeah, they just got scout diffed right there. It seemed like it was going to go the way of League of Shadows for so long. They were a player up, they had a soldier on the bell tower, it looked great, but then it just slowly worked out in favor of Yeehaw and Nevo just edging out kills. And I think Yeehaw got like a 4K in that situation, not quite sure, but Nevo got some really nice damage and kills as well. Vanny, obviously, it feels like Vanny hasn't died yet in this game. That can't be true, but it feels true. And that's probably a pretty good indication of what's happening in this game and where NOOBPANZER can really find their strength. He's going to have a big Uber ad to push in right now. They're not in any hurry. They know they have a big ad. So it's just a matter of being able to execute it properly.
Looks like it's going to be a left-hand side push here, really switching things up. They're going to just bomb through straight away. The sentry gun currently in the high ground, they're going to sticky and pipe it up, and it goes down. And now the point is basically open for capture, but they are going for frags here. Can they find June? June's surfing away nicely, but all these players getting munched, trying to get in. Vanny also going down. Suddenly Chris and Joe left alive, and they all just kind of stacked up there and 8 damage from Deli. So that last push getting thwarted by one mistake, and they didn't kill off June either, and that was so close to getting that frag.
Yeah, unfortunately. Match was kind of balanced on a knife edge. We're still on 1-1. It's about 6.5 minutes remaining. June has a full Uber ad, but they have to push into mid, which is not easy. So this is a very even game right now. Anyone's game. And actually, Deli's going to get taken down. That's a big deal. You want that in an Uber push, but Uber has been forced now in a very awkward situation. They do get 2 kills, though. That's a really good start. That's how you make use of these very scrappy Ubers. You get some kills, and then you can regroup and push in to mid as a single unit. Both soldiers going to jump in and take a lot of space. There's a soldier in the belt. He has been eliminated, and slowly but surely, just too aggressive here from NOOBPANZER. It's just Yeehaw. I mean, I say just Yeehaw and Nevo in here, but they managed to make Vanny survive again. Like, Vanny just never dies.
Yeah, Vanny just seems to have some great survivability in this game, and just moving back into this mid, and it looks like they are going to be able to just get on top of this point here. They are spamming some pipes towards it, but unable to do too much here. But Vanny does get Uber, but June 75%. I think they're going to be able to hold on to the second. So I think that we are going to see another stalemate take place, but I think Vanny has other ideas. They're already posturing up to go through flowers. If they take an aggressive Uber now, then it will get thwarted. June now has Uber. Both soldiers taking that high ground, and they're going to be bombing on top of the soldier. Slash in a very, very, very low ground. Does get taken down. Yeehaw going down as well. But it looks like Ubers are going to be traded. Nevo has managed to slip in behind, and they're just going to take this straight up fight here. Chris going down as well. Ronz has bombed in, tries to get on top of June, but doesn't predict the flash early enough. But they're getting on top of Deli. Deli eats 2 pipes to the chin. Flick's going to almost get piped as well. He's trapped in a corner by some stickies. Nevo's still in behind. Going to be trying to escape back through dungeon, and is managing to slip out. But Scar just getting back into the fight. And the blue team have now recommitted like they should have done about 5 minutes ago.
Very chaotic, long, drawn-out fight there, and that does tend to favor the defensive team because they get their respawners back more quickly into the fight. So it's going to eventually slow down and go in their way. Everyone has been pushed back here from NOOBPANZER back onto mid. They're going to have to reset. Ubers are about as even as you can possibly have them. So no advantage to be found there for either team. We're in a setup situation, and NOOBPANZER, there's no way they just hold and then push that. No, that makes no sense. They're just going to have to find a way to break through this wall.
Yeah, they're going to do the Takeshi's Castle style of things. Just run it in till it works. They're going to send in Ronz and Chris straight through the front line. They do pick up Flick very early on. Scar is there to try and respond, but he goes down as well. Yeehaw finding that kill. And now the blue team are very much on the back foot. They're just going to be leaving this one unable to do anything at all here. But Slash also going down. They've got 3 picks all of a sudden, Beta, and they're barreling into last as fast as they can. Nevo going to be taking the top right side, already trying to play this point here. No real stickies on the point. The Uber comes out, and Vanny hasn't had to use. He just leaves Joe to die. Vanny is going to have to use to save his own life, and this could have been a mistake not saving Joe with the Uber. They're going to be pushing back into last to try and get kills. Respawners coming in. Slash is now back in the fight. What's going to be bombing in is too deep, and they're going to go down as well. Just a very, very over-aggressive fight there coming up from the red team.
Yeah, another very ruthless Vanny Uber. Okay, Chris is not gonna... Okay, thank God. I was getting worried there. This is a big fight coming on to the point right now. No one's really able to get onto it because of the demo man, but I think eventually NOOBPANZER will be pushed back through the choke, and actually Vanny is gonna die. One of the weirdest deaths I've seen coming out from Vanny. Like, usually he's just very passive, stays behind his team, makes sure never to get caught up. But this kind of situation, he was very aggressive, kind of just ran in there, and his team couldn't quite support him.
Yeah, indeed. He was unable to really survive that entire engagement. But June also gets bombed, does manage to survive. Zoe's going to go in, does die to a trap there from Joe, and Scar is going to be catching his respawner now. Vanny now respawning. June with 100% Uber advantage. Now, this is the time, League of Shadows. You've got 2 minutes 30 left. Please do not beef this push, because they need to be able to get around here. I want to see a draw coming out in this map, as they're going to be bombing in towards the second here. Beta, it's all to play for. Ron's going to be trying to escape here, and he does manage to escape all the way back to the shutter door. Actually, I say that, he bombs back in. Why is he doing this to himself? Retreats back in through dungeon to survive. Now, Flick and June, they are gunning it in towards last. They're going to be running up through lower. They've managed to pinch onto Vanny. They're behind him. Flick beats 1 or 2 shots, but does manage to get on top of him just now. But Vanny is still running, and Vanny does survive because Flick missed a bunch of shots, but now Vanny overextended back in the corner. They get the kills. Vanny dies to an arrow kill, but they're all dying, and Deli is the lone survivor, and I think he is just a respawner.
He is indeed. Yeah. Like, he wasn't even looking for him. He knows exactly what the Deli is. Deli looking like he wanted to get some cheap spam. It does get a little hit there. But that was quite the fight. That could have gone either way right there. Vanny died on like 99% to an arrow coming out from June. June was already dead by the time he got that arrow kill. So just absolute crazy scenes coming out right now in this fight. There's 1.5 minutes remaining. I don't know what's going to happen. It's even Ubers. We're in a stalemate. The Swords jump in very aggressively. Deli gets brought down to about 50 HP, but he is just still surviving, being healed up here by June. But this is just so much pressure from NOOBPANZER.
It is indeed, and there's so much damage being dealt to these blue soldiers that they're going to have to leave this. Deli gets caught in, though. That's a massive pick that they find there. The demo man going down. Uber's still relatively even here, Beta, so it means that we're going to see likely another stalemate happen. But I don't think if you're NOOBPANZER here, you've got nothing to lose. You can just full send. You've got 49 seconds. They cannot come back in this round. You just go for a Hail Mary push and pray it works.
You have literally no other choice. Like, you have to get Ubers out of the way. You don't have time to send a suicide wave, so this is just going to be get Ubers out of the way and then do a big old V-push. They lose Nevo immediately, not the start that you're looking for. And Ubers are still not even close to being spent. Alright, they're going to jump in the soldier pretty aggressively, see if we can get some space. There's a Pyro as well. Flick hasn't even had to do anything yet. But at least they got the sense that... Oh, Vanny!
Flick! Oh, no! Flick absolutely denying the whole Uber. The reflect pipe destroying them, scattering them to the wind. Gets saved on 8 HP with a blue Uber, reflects the pipe, gets a reflect pipe kill on Vanny, burns a bunch of players to death to hold that round, and we're going to be going to a golden cap.
Yep, and officially League of Shadows have gotten some points in this match, and they definitely deserve it. Both teams get 1 point for this, and then whoever wins the golden cap will get 1 additional point. So that means the winner gets 2 points for the map, and the loser will get 1. And obviously, we saw NOOBPANZER, they have 3 points already for winning the first map, just outright. So, man, that was so chaotic. Like, I hope we get to see this in the playoffs again, because this... I want like 3 maps of this. Like, please.
Yeah, repeat this. Jesus Christ. I really want to see it, especially when they get to pick their maps as well, because we don't know if these are the maps that they would have picked in the lineup. You know, usually we just see, Snake Water, Gully Wash Process. But you never know. Each of these teams may favor one or the other of these maps, and we're just seeing the tightest games we've ever seen in our lives, Peter.
Yeah, like Granary definitely didn't look like either team was very comfortable with. So I would imagine they don't like that. Either team.
Both teams just throwing themselves at each other literally in that map, unable to really get anything going the whole time. But this definitely looks more comfortable, I think. I think that both teams clearly have some kind of strats that they like to pull out. They've clearly been practicing the mids quite a lot, so you can kind of tell that they've got a little bit more gumption coming into this map. But NOOBPANZER are going to be winning this official with this golden cap. They're going to have points advantage coming into on the league table, so they're going to be second seed. They will get to face up against Tier 2 Easy in the playoffs if they remain in second place.
I agree with everything except for the part where you said numbers. Yep, that's pretty much true. All right, and an important stat I feel like is that we've seen NOOBPANZER win 2 mids to 1, but that's all. That is not like a big statistical sample size.
It's like a hair.
Yeah, like that could mean anything really.
Yeah, it's a very, very small advantage to have over another team when you say, "Ha, we got one more mid than you," and that's all you've got. That's literally it. And in terms of like in deathmatch and stuff, it's been relatively even. But you did mention that Vanny's had some good survivability, but I think that's because League of Shadows have been playing a very, very aggressive game, and I think that's how Delhi just likes to play the game.
Yeah, it's very funny. I've been mentioning Vanny, but June actually died 2 times less.
Wow.
So that's very interesting. Looks can be deceiving, I guess. Like maybe this is just the medic theory of the less you notice a medic, the better he is. Like if you don't notice the medics there, that means he's doing amazing because you only see the mistakes out of medics. You don't see all the times that they play great TF2.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm excited to see these medics more. To be honest, I've enjoyed June so far in Premiership. I think did they play last season?
I can't remember.
Is this yeah, they played last season in Prem, and that was their first season. And this season, looking like a fully fledged Giga Prem medic, if I'm honest. Looking very, very solid.
Yeah, I will say, like, Vanny definitely had all the better Ubers in general with the map 1 on Granary. It always seemed like he was the one that held the ad there. Like, June was constantly getting forced in bad situations, those sorts of stuff. It was always, like, kind of playing catch-up to what Vanny's Uber situation was, you know? But... yeah. Like, I think we can kind of blame that on the map a little bit, or at least how the map went, because we have seen none of that so far. It's been extremely close. We saw the big long back and forth in the first round. Was that like another 17-minute round or something before anyone got a point on it? But it just never quite heated up point-wise. Like, these teams are not that great at pushing last, and they're very good at holding it.
Yeah. Indeed. One other thing I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, while we've got you here, by the balls waiting for this golden cap to start, because we all know that you're very excited to witness this. But we have got Insomnia Gaming Festival, which is going to be coming up in August between the 25th and the 29th. Be there or be square. Looking forward to seeing everyone there at the event. It should be a great LAN experience. It's going to be absolutely amazing. First LAN in 3 years. TY COVID for that one.
Yeah, and we're all going to be there in this cast, right? I think we can reveal that.
Yeah, all 3 of us, JMax, Beta, and myself, we're all going to be at the LAN, so we'll catch you there. We'll get drinks in. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see what you guys all look like. I assume little hermits, but we're live on this mid, Lucky. What do you see?
I see Joe and Delhi taking a 1v1 across the point. The Scar and Slash. Slash is already committing in, and he's been deleted, so he's gone down. But he does trade out for Nevo, which is a really good situation to be in. Scar going down here. Chris just going to be sitting in cafe, getting himself a cappuccino, being chilling. Unable to really get too much done, but both scouts are coming into it, which has opened up space now for the red team to get in back into the fight. But Vanny ate a pipe, which is very, very unfortunate, and now he's stuck on the wrong side of mid, unable to really continue contributing to the fight for fear of eating a stray sticky and going down. But this blue team can now move into second because red team have been caught behind lines.
Can they actually go for the backup? I don't think they can. They definitely don't think they can. Yeah, no one's really in a position to block this, so they're just going to see if they can get Vandy out without using, and so far they actually succeed. Yeah, that was a great save, and Rons gets 2 nice pick there. Both scouts down. They actually never cap. This is huge. How did Rons get both of those rockets to hit? Scar's on Spy.
It was bound to... No.
Like, Nevo knows, right? Yeah. I don't know if Nevo is a genius or if he just randomly happened to like wipe his nose while moving backwards or something. He was moving very weirdly.
Headphones on. Headphones definitely on. All the way turned up. His Razor Kraken's just turned all the way up, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I was going to say that I'm surprised we haven't seen more Scar Spy, because it is a signature for him, just picking up the Spy every now and again, just holding it until this very last golden cap. May have been the play, but totally misplays it. Nevo's now running though and is getting rinsed. Ron's also bombing in. Lots and lots of damage has been dealt, but unable to really capitalize too much as both teams need to go back and get their heals up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good old stalemate in this golden cap. Both teams kind of pensive. Chris is pretty far forward. Looks like he decided not to go in for any kind of big bomb. Ron's has gotten a fat heal, so he's just going to lone gun it in there. Again, goes for the Devilman. And Joe with the spam pipe over the house actually gets him, so he's going to move forward. We'll end up getting him, but it's a 2-on-1 already, and we've seen that June likes to hold pretty far back, which means that if you get enough presence, you guys get in there and get a ton of kills, and once again, they're going to achieve that. Well, like, I really love how active Joe is in these pushes once things start going south and the bombs come in.
It's a left side into last. Right is totally open though. Slash could get a bomb if he wants, but Chris going in very, very deep. This get picked off very, very early, and this could mean that they're just going to cancel this push very, very wisely. They did not want to throw away the advantage that they have, pinning them to their last point. But Slash already pressuring the shutter. Looks like they do want to get out here and get some kind of sack done. Deli's going to be spamming from this top area, and also Zoe's running in through dungeon. They have managed to slip these blue players in through the cracks in the red defense, and they're managing to do a great job here as June gets reconnected with Flick. It looks like they could go for some kind of trade here. They do eventually trade out these Ubers, but players dying for the blue team. Zoe and Scar both going down. Chris is the only casualty on the red team, and now they're going to be gunning it forwards in towards last hit Beta for a potential last push with Yeehor going down. Slash does trade that though. And now they're going to be going in top right. Can they do anything here? Beta, it's getting down to the wire.
He's going to respawn though. He's about to come out. This is going to be so difficult. Yeah, Joe goes down. There's just no way. The only thing they can do now is get onto June. But that is not the case either. Vanny did see the writing on the wall. He got his way out of there. Doesn't want anything to do with this push. But it was a brave push coming in there. The respawn is a bit too quickly. Manifesting and shutting down the push. It's an even Ubers. You could actually see them just barreling into mid if they really want to just push their luck here.
They definitely wanted to there, but I guess they called it off as... Oh, Denny gets air shot, nearly doubled by Chris. That was very Monka-esque if you're Denny there. Just witnessing that rocket skim you. Holy God. And Scar going down here. Yeah, Vanny too. Jesus. This is getting very spicy here. Why weren't they doing this the whole time?
I don't know. They haven't been timid. I'll say another big bomb coming out from Rons. Actually hits a nice first rocket onto him, but June manages to hold on to it. That was some brave medicing right there from June. Great stuff by him. And again...
Oh, Slash. What a bomb. Bombs in. Skip jumps all the way in and does get the force. Slash goes for an extremely long time there. Nevo needs to reload his scatter gun. Just had his pistol available, so was just pistoling him down. So, does manage to get it in the end. June now with a big Uber advantage, but two-player disadvantage to play with. So, looks like the red team are going to just be playing the safe card and retreating back on this mid to build out the Uber.
Not really a whole lot of action so far. They really want Scar and Slusher to come in here. Like, luckily they're soldiers, so they can kind of come in after the initial push has gone in if you want to go for a fast Uber push. It looks like they want to go in there. Alright, Ron, he smells a push coming. He's going to go for the high bomb. Zoe's actually going to be the one to go down. I didn't even see where that happened. I guess that was on the flank.
That was one of those really stupid kills where Zoe jumped off the high ground. Chris just bombs in and headshots with the rocket. And Chris gets more onto Scar, assists in the slush kill. And this is going to be terrible if you're the blue team. Now, they're going to get pincered here by the looks of things. Yeehor standing up on this point, and Chris is currently in behind. Yeehor is just going to get 4v1 goes down here. But Chris picks up the kill on the flick. Bomb comes in. Can they find June? On the low ground. Vanny has Ubered out here. and they are going to get on top of June. Can they find the final rocket? The answer is going to be yes. They do find the kill, and Scar is going to be trying to get back into the fight with Deli. Can they find the kill? Running out of dungeon is Rons, but he's all alone. Vanny's back in as well, but can he land the head kill? The answer is definitely no, and they're all going to die here on the side of the red team in that push, and the blue team are going to get a push out of their own second, potentially in towards mid.
Joe went so far ahead of his team that he kind of threw a little bit. Like, he didn't need to be that aggressive. You can see he really wanted to cut them off, but he just went in way too early. He was very weak, and then they just like hit two, like, I don't even want to say nice stickies. They were just random stickies on him and killed him. And then Deli went on to get like a ton of other kills. And again, Joe gets picked off. This is absolutely disastrous right now. There's a back cap going on, but it's going to be pretty hard to make that work, I think, Chris. So he is going to try and block it. I think Chris might do it. He does it.
Chris gets it. Oh my god, that was very unexpected. Zoe eventually gets to clean up with the assistance of Scar on second, but Joe is catching his respawn on the forward spawn, and Rons is also up. They've managed to get Yeehor out on the sniper as well, so let's see if he can find a cheeky angle. He does shoot his shot, and he has been called, as they're going to be able to get these blue players back in towards mid, and they're going to get a retake going on here.
Yeah, Yeehaw doesn't want to go sniper anymore. He just switches off. Probably a decent decision. Yeah, like, you can't really do anything. June gets jumped, doesn't pop. There's like a full man army in front of him. There's no way anyone's getting to him there. Sorry, Chris. But Scar takes a lot of damage. Like Vanny, he's holding out here. He slowed them down. And June, they need to move quickly, otherwise June's going to lose his Uberad, but it looks like he can move quickly is exactly what they decide to do here.
Yeah, going to be moving into the gun. They lay up their stickies. They delete that sentry gun. Sticky's currently on the point, need to get cleared. They're going to try and play the point a little bit. This heavy comes out the right-hand side spawn there. They need to deal with it, but the heavy just munches Deli, unable to do much else here. Joe is super low, but they are getting some cleanup here. It's now even players. Joe hits a respawn bind and is going to be just fine. And Nevo is going to be 450 HP on this point. So the blue team are going to call off this push. Now Uberad swings into the favor of the red side.
Yeah, the fat man saved the day once again. This is an Uberad, and obviously with the lower time, you will have like bigger opportunities to do round resets, but this is not the situation where you would want to go for that. You definitely want to push out with this Uberad. You can see Joe, he's kind of charging up for one here. Yeah, it doesn't really get popped out, but I don't know how deep he can actually jump.
Zoe.
Oh.
Zoe's on last. Oh, never mind, goes down. I thought it was a clear shot in towards last. It definitely wasn't. Apologies. A red team haven't managed to get out on second though. And they delay the spawner. Zoe and Slash have been delayed by an extra 5 seconds. This is going to mean they're going to have a 2-player advantage for quite a while here.
They get the force out. The double soldier bomb. Chris and Rons both got in basically for free. And all of a sudden, all Uberad is gone. Chris will eventually get picked off, but that's going to be the only one. Rons is still behind lines. But, ooh, they're actually going to push in. Oh, I love this. They don't care anymore. They're done being scared and timid right now, Lucky. They're just going in deep.
They've got nothing to lose here, Beta. I mean, they've already not going to get the points against them that they wanted in the first place. So I think that they can just full send it and pray that they're going to get these 2 points based on some really aggressive plays. But they're going to lose Zoe on the flank here. But, oh my god, Slash with the skip jump off someone's head to kill off Joe with it. And they're actually going to get the cap onto second as well. Very, very sneaky stuff from Flick.
Yeah, this is kind of chaos mode engaged right now. And Nevo, looks like he might be running around the corner. Okay, I was so sure he was going to just run around and kill Deli. Deli was holding pretty close with an Uber trap. Or a sticky trap, not an Uber trap. That's not a thing. Alright, double jump in here for Rons. Hits a nice rocket onto the scout, but yeah, they actually managed to get out the Uber force. This is a great job. Chris also goes down for it, but Vanny, again, ruthless medic as he is just holding on to this. He doesn't save Yeehaw. Just decide to let everyone run into him before he decides to use this. But
oh, Vanny is so goddamn good. He just waits for all the spam to be gone before he runs through the shutter door. Just stands out in the open, like raining down on him. He just does not care. Runs back into the shutter. Beautiful, beautiful stuff from him. But has this Uber managed to play with, like you mentioned, but they need to be aware of this Zoe backhand. Zoe's been very, very good about getting in on these flanks and just ratting around in the low ground. They have just got Chris now sat in dungeon, so Zoe can't do anything. But Zoe runs in through the shutter door. Yeehaw's on heavy on last. Okay, they're very, very, very much aware.
Yeah, Zoe comes in from behind though. He's actually going to get some pretty decent shots on here. Like Scar's in as well. This point could just be a kill zone right now. Everyone needs to be so careful. Scar, he hit some nice shots. He did all the damage, but just not enough to actually get the kills. Very unfortunate for him there. If there was just one more player there, that would have been a complete cleanup, I guarantee it. But as it is, it's going to be an Ubrad for June, and they're trying to just desperately hold on to this. Actually, they're going to pop out here, trying to see if they can get onto Vanny, and they do find Vanny.
Oh my! Vanny's just gone! Vanny is down into dungeon. Vanny's escaping this by the looks of things. Deli's back there. Though, can Vanny survive? He's dodging, he's ducking, he's diving, and he lives! Vanny is so goddamn good. That was genius from him. Jumps off of tiles, slips into dungeon, and just jukes, dodges, and weaves everything. Incredible.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just about to die to the dumbest bomb there from Scar. But
Jinxed once again. The caster curse hits him in the face.
that would have been the classic, but no. Yeah, just Vanny. Great movement there. Really nice job by him. Like, is he actually unkillable this time around? Like, both June and Vanny have been playing really well so far this map. There's a sniper in spawn, I believe. This is a relatively standard move, but I don't think he's been caught. Oh my god, he gets a nice shot off.
Yep, he gets the headshot onto Joe, and Vanny drops a Deli sticky trap. So now they're just going to try and salvage this. Can they get on top of June? June just sat in the corner, and they're not going to get anyone to June, and June up to 85% now. So he's going to get that Uber very, very soon, and a free cap onto mid as the wipe comes in for the red team. And that sticky trap and headshot combination saving the day for this blue side.
I think we're almost at a point where we need to discuss what happens if neither team caps out and wins this round, Lucky. Is it just a golden cap, like, for mid?
I can't remember if it's golden mid. I think it's golden mid.
Yeah, I think so. There's about 2 minutes remaining. There is a big Uber out here on June, so they have a nice push opportunity to really hammer this one home. But if they don't succeed with that, we might have to go to a golden mid.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely on, though, for this blue team to get this push to work. And Vanny's been building this whole time, by the way. He's definitely going to have Uber for last at this rate. But Ron's in with the bomb onto June. Can't find the second rocket, though, unfortunately. Lots of damage has been dealt, so they're going to have to spend some time getting healed up before they make a push happen. But it looks like the push that I'm talking about is going to be a stalemate. But 1 minute 30 remaining on the clock. Are they just going to go for it? They're all stacked on top right, all 5 of them.
Yeah, it looked like they wanted to, and then they were like, wait, we're all stuck in the same doorway. Maybe we shouldn't go. They just end up sending in a single suicider there. Oh, Soldier tries to get in. Slush, he gets bounced around, but that is all that happens to him. We're down to 1 minute and 10 seconds, Lucky. I think this is the first golden mid of the season that we're going to get here.
Potentially, and you might have just jinxed the golden mid as looks like the blue team, red team are just going to be trying to push out here. Do they clear the shutter? They do. Oh my, that was so close. Whew. Wiping the sweat off my brow for that one, but going to be going in towards the point, and they get the force onto June. Ron's actually just managed to get that one, and they're going to try and cap loads and loads and loads of cap time down. They need to save these cappers. Yehor is on the slither of HP, does get the flash from Vanny to stay alive, and they're just the death zone on the point. Both soldiers unloading rockets into the point, and Scar going to go down to the point as well. Slash is still getting an arrow. It's just absolute chaos everywhere here. Vanny eats a pipe to the chin and does manage to survive, but Deli going to be trying to escape here, stuck in a corner, gets bombed, going to go down here. 20 seconds remaining. I think it's a golden mid.
I think so. June's just looking to the sky right now. He knows what's coming. This is pretty exciting. We got pretty much exactly what we wanted. Can we give like half a point to each team? That would be that should be a thing, right?
Yeah, I think we should just hand that over there.
There you go. Neither team able to secure a golden cap, and we're going to a golden mid.
This is the closest game of the season, if I feel of things in this match. It's just been so slow, so coordinated. Both teams just really trying their best here, but you know what do you think is going to happen here? I mean,
I think they're going to go to mid, and then okay. I really hope that one soldier doesn't just decide the mid, you know, because they can go to mid really fast, kill the demo, mid's over. They can go to mid, get killed by the demo, mid's over. I really hope we don't see that. I kind of want to see the dance again, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get stuck behind lines when the map ends when you lose mid. So yeah, do the dance, man. That's what I want to see.
Do the dance in the pants. I want to see a Kritzkrieg.
They're talking about time limit for the mid.
It doesn't
How
matter,
long
guys.
do you think it's gonna take?
Both teams trying to dictate how long a mid could last for because it's been that slow so far that they have no idea. I think a Kritzkrieg could be funny though.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of like that.
Yeah, because it could be like if you get your Kritzkrieg, you're gonna get your Kritzkrieg built before that Uber, you'd hope, right?
Yeah.
And then you can just have that crits advantage. Even if you use it onto a scout would be pretty good on this mid, or you don't even need to use it on a demo. Just literally anyone to pump some additional damage to clean up frags. That's kind of all you're looking for, really, isn't it? Just more frags.
Yeah, very much so. Like, you can absolutely like edge the point on mid if enough players are down here. So maybe that's gonna come into play. Usually it doesn't on Sunshine. It seems like I want to say like Badlands is one of those maps where you can probably edge the point a little bit more than normal. But yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen here, but definitely keep an eye out for it. But like knowing that you're going to lose a mid and lose the map, right? Do you just never jump in as a soldier because you don't want to be that soldier that's like, oh, I jumped in and then they kill me.
And now you're dead, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got to play that slow, like, you know, you put one of your soldiers in your own cafe and then you have the other soldier with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Because that way, when you're rotating around, if they rotate into the soldier that's hiding in cafe, they might get a crucial pick on one of the big classes. So I think that's definitely a risk you're willing to take, because I don't think you take all the cards off the table. I think if you take all the cards off the table, you're playing too defensive and you haven't got those options available to you to make those aggressive plays.
Yeah, like a part of my brain wants to say that you should just play this like any normal mid because you've optimized the normal mid for winning, right? So obviously you shouldn't change anything. Like you should just play optimally because that's what you normally do. But then the other part of my brain just goes like, no, this is different. But I don't know why it would be.
This may be a little bit different in comparison to the other mid fights that you played in. But any predictions for the mid fight?
I think they're gonna play slow, and I think League of Shadows gonna win it. I don't know why.
You just feel it in your bones. First one to die on the fight.
I'm gonna go with Slusher.
I was gonna say Slash as well. Heading into the mid fight though, here we are. We're going into the golden mid. As Joe getting into flowers already, and looks like we're going to see a very controlled mid coming out here. Deli also getting into flowers as well. Both teams, they're going to be doing the dance in no pants, and a double soldier bomb. It's the most aggressive mid we've seen. They're full sending it into each other. It's a giga scrap on the point. It's even trades, but Deli and June both dead. The heals are on the side of the red team, but they lose Joe, and this is very unfortunate. They're on the low ground. Banny has crit. ×5 on the capture. This crit screen is going to come out onto Yeehor. He's rinsing everyone. Zoe's down to 1 health. Slusher on this point. Vanny needs to pull out the head. It's Vanny gets it. Vanny's going to be able to hold on to this point, but is it who first caps it though?
So we're not going to get. We're getting a second mid fight. We're getting a second mid fight. This is crazy.
A whole second fight here. Can Deli and June make it in time? Chris bombing in towards Deli and June going to be trying to get in towards this choke to lock them off. ×2 on the cap. They need to lock this choke out and lock down this mid pronto.
Yeah, they're kind of trying to flank them here with a soldier. Scar's coming in onto mid though. Yeah, all right, they're finally in. Not sure why they would send players behind. This is so weird to me. But all right. No! Oh,
and there it is.
There we go. It caps out just in time before people get on the point. That was intense.
Wowee. NOOBPANZER taking it away. I mean, we didn't think that they were just going to go balls to the walls, but they definitely did it. What a mid-fight that was. Why didn't they pull those out? GG is the call, the closest game that we've seen in Prem so far. 5 points going the way of NOOBPANZER from this official.
Yeah, I think I need a moment to decompress, man.
I need to go get a beer. Holy God.
Yeah.
This is insane. Intense gameplay.
Yeah, what are the logs for this mid-fight? That's the important part, right?
Yeah, and we've got to wait for them to kill the server. There you go. They've done their time limit there. So now we can. They've loaded up the logs now. So we do have logs for that mid-fight. Who was the MVP of the mid-fight? That's what I want to know.
It looks like it was Yeehaw. Top damage, top kills, along with Nevo also. And Rons. It was pretty even. There was like a super clear MVP. I'm just going to give it to Vandy because he didn't die, I guess.
Wow, yeah, this incredible stuff. I think that New Panzer I think that they did outplay League of Shadows more than League of Shadows outplayed them, and also they made less mistakes. But overall, they couldn't convert the rounds that they had, and it was the same for League of Shadows. When they did make the outplays, they couldn't convert it, so it was like, here, there, and everywhere, all over the place for both teams. But I think New Panzer, at the end of the day, they managed to get the fat big W, and Yeehor on the combined logs with 43 kills. Oh my god.
Jeez. Yeah, all right. He had a good game, that's for sure.
Oh, 47 for Zoe, though. Whoops. Forgot about that one.
Yeah. But this definitely felt like, this wasn't like a top two Formula One race. This was like two beat up cars, like just absolutely running around on the dirt road. It wasn't like a clean fight. It felt very scrappy and up for grabs. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. And going to look at the tables now after that one, we're going to see a bit of a shift in the old standings, I believe. To be that New Panzer's going to overtake 4 Fence, but League of Shadows will cling on to their third place slot because of the 1 point that they got.
There you go. 1 point matters.
It did matter in the end, because if New Panzer got if New Panzer got 6 points from this official, they'd be 1 point ahead, but they'd be on 13 points. League of Shadows currently on 12 points, but League of Shadows will be going to 13 points, and New Panzer will be going to 12 points. So New Panzer will be only just behind, but New Panzer have played their hardest games in comparison to League of Shadows.
Yeah, they definitely have like the best strength of schedule going ahead into the final ones. They have to play against Street Devils and 4 Fence. But both teams, which I believe have also lost to League of Shadows. So, yeah, I think Witness Game is in the corner coming up right now for League of Shadows. So
yeah, they're gonna have a toughie versus that team. We'll see how that goes and if they can take any points off. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap things up. So JMax, you got any shouts you want to throw out there, sir? He says no. He doesn't have any shout outs. Screw you guys. Beater, any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to everyone going to I-69. It's going to be nice. And then I'll make sure to get a demo call up for ETF2L. I haven't done it so far this season. It'll be up soon. But hold on to your frags. I want them.
Oh yeah, hold on to them demos, ladies and gents. He's going to be making another frag movie, and you can all look forward to it on Danish Action Hero on YouTube. So look out for that. And I'm just going to throw a quick shout out to the bus crew and to the Polly's peeps and the Tantrum Mixes. So shout outs to everyone else in the chat for tuning in for this long and dealing with us. And shout out to JMax as well for producing this evening. It's a thankless task, and I can't wait to see you at Insomnia. And shout out to you, BF, for being my co-cast this evening. So without further ado, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Can't speak anymore. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in this evening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace, guys.